These talks are back on tonight to address the increasingly expensive trade war between the two largest economies in the world. Officials from China and the U.S. now confirm new negotiations in coming weeks to deal with the conflict that has had major implications in both nations and ripple effects throughout the world. The effects of today's news made a lot of people a lot of money in the markets. At the end of the trading day today, the Dow was up 373. The S&P 500 gained 38. The Nasdaq surged 140. We will start there with Chief White House Correspondent John Roberts on the North Lawn. Good evening, John.
Brett, good evening to you. For months now, progress and the lack of it in trade talks with China have taken the stock markets and the retirement fortunes of millions of Americans on a roller coaster ride. But now, with tariffs beginning to bite deeply in China, new signs that the Chinese may be willing to cut a deal. Another big up day for the markets as the U.S. and China announced they will hold another round of trade talks. The U.S. Trade Representative's office saying Ambassador Lighthizer and Secretary Mnuchin spoke with Vice Premier Liu He of China on Wednesday night regarding U.S.-China trade talks. They agreed to hold meetings at the ministerial level in Washington in the coming weeks. U.S. officials say the talks will most likely be held at the beginning of October, a month later than originally planned. But in the face of mounting tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars in goods, China appears eager to get back to the table.
The trade teams of the two sides have been communicating effectively. The two sides agreed that joint efforts should be made and practical measures taken for creating a favorable condition for the talks.
According to an analysis by the Wall Street Journal, another $111 billion in Chinese goods became subject to a 15% tariff on September 1st. Tariffs on nearly $200 billion more go into effect on December 15th. China has been urging President Trump not to increase tariffs. The Commerce Ministry spokesman saying China firmly opposes the escalation of the trade war. It's not beneficial to China or the United States and, not to mention, the world.